is sometimes called an invisible illness. Because from the outside, people think you look fine, reasonably well, maybe at times even almost normal. I'm housebound, wheelchair-bound, bed-bound. My body stays horizontal because my blood won't rise when I do. Because being upright is something my system can't hold anymore. I live in a darkened home, isolated from the world. I don't see anyone. Sometimes not even an entire year. I wear earplugs, sunglasses, construction headphones, layers between me and the world. But when I turn on the light for a moment and feel well enough, you can't see that disability. My body, it looks average, untrained, not obviously sick. But if you knew me as a professional dancer, you'd see how much ME has changed me. In that way, asking about the past is what makes the illness visible. Standard tests show little to nothing. Advanced research tests do. Yet patients are told nothing is wrong, even though science shows otherwise. So yes, the disease may in different ways seem invisible. Yet invisible can mean something else too. Severe ME is sometimes called a living death, because the body becomes a room of intense suffering you cannot leave. Life you cannot enter. A world that forgets you exist. People lie in dark rooms, unable to sit up, unable to speak for long, if at all, unable to tolerate light, sounds, touch, food and medication. Some cannot turn in bed by themselves. Some need tubes to eat. Even eye contact becomes an exertion. ME is not about fatigue. It's an energy impairment at its core. Poisoned feeling. Flu-like. Oxygen stuck. Your muscles, your skin, your eyes, your brain. As if you're biking uphill while laying still in bed. Cross the threshold, and the body derails even further. For days, weeks, months, or permanently. This is post-exertional malaise, the hallmark symptom of ME. People with ME are often misunderstood, dismissed. People lose careers, friendships, relationships, identities built on activity and connection. You mourn yourself while still alive, and others move on as if you have already died. This is my second home, where the neighbors have never seen me, or know who I am. If I left, if I died, they would never know who actually lived here. In my worst months and years, most didn't understand what I was enduring, especially my doctors. I couldn't look at the screens of my phone for long, couldn't explain, and when I tried, I was disbelieved, neglected. It is as if life continues behind glass. You watch it, but you cannot join. Limbo between living and not living. A prison, claustrophobic sentence with no release date. Some specialists compare very severe ME to the final weeks of terminal illness, except this can last for years, decades. In that sense, it truly can be a living death. People with severe ME sometimes say it feels like being buried alive, not only from physical suffering, but from the failure of medicine, science, politics, and society at large. Failure that leaves people to die. Some cannot eat from food intolerances or the inability to swallow. They're not believed. I was not believed. People have died from starvation, dehydration, or preventable complications. Others are sent to psychiatric wards, their symptoms dismissed. Forced activity and sensory exposure pushed them into irreversible decline. Some didn't survive. The sicker you become, the less care you at times receive. No home visits, overstimulating hospitals unwilling to adapt. It causes diagnoses to be missed, admissions to be unsafe, families left alone in crisis, and some people die from these failures. Unfounded psychosocial theories stall progress. Governments refuse to fund research that matches the scale of the disease, so patients deteriorate without hope, decaying without perspective. People with ME are resilient, but relentless suffering and relentless neglect can break anyone. Some die by suicide, others apply for assisted dying, not because they want to die, but because they cannot access the care that would let them live. Sometimes medically assisted dying is easier to get than basic care. A reality that exposes the abysmal state of healthcare. When society offers no path for a better life, then a living death becomes a burial. And we let it happen. Years, decades, adults, children, generation after generation. Even a pandemic wasn't enough to wake the world the fuck up to the horrors of ME. Instead, we're told to just try harder to live by being stuck closer to death. If I ever recover, if I ever get my life back, part of me has already died. My youth, my hopes, my dreams. Lost because those who should have cared did not. And my story is one of many millions. Before this disease, I believed healthcare tried its best, that patients mattered, that lives mattered. ME has taught me that some lives are treated as disposable, even in healthcare, or especially in healthcare, depending on the disease you suffer from. This is what healthcare for ME can feel like you're disposable, like you do not matter, like you're buried alive.